everyone. I'm here today to welcome in the new year with you and show you some fun, beautiful new products coming and some tips and tricks on how to use them. We're going to look at the Perennial Lavender suite of products coming out in the Stampin' Up new catalog, the January through April catalog, and I've got some pretty cards to show you with this set, and I'm getting ready to go here. So I'm first gonna just have to get close to the camera, sorry about that, to bring up my iPad so I can see what you're seeing. And then my laptop is here too, and that's where I see your comments. So when you jump on, say hi. Even if you're watching replay, you weren't able to catch us live. I haven't been live for a couple of weeks, so I've missed being here. With the Christmas holiday, you know, you just take a little time off from work so you can spend with family. And we're ready to go with Perennial Lavender. So go ahead when you jump on, say hello, where you're from, and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so I need to do a couple tool things here on my tools. Let's see if I'm going to get the right thing here. I'll go upside down and then you'll be right side up. So just give me a second. There we go. That's what's supposed to happen. And, oops, sorry. If you get seasick, don't look for a minute. See if we can get this straightened out. And that looks pretty crooked, doesn't it? So let's go this way. I think that should be better. And I'm waiting for it to show up on the screen to see if I got it better or worse. Yeah, I got it better. Good. Awesome. Hi, Diane. No worries. I'm late, too. Diane jumped on and she said she's a little late, and I'm a little late, too. So that's okay. Let me see which way. I probably went the wrong way, as usual, on here. So I'm just waiting for the camera. Yep, waiting for the camera to catch up. And there we go. Okay. I'm happy to see you. Hi, Kathy. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone, whether you're watching live or on replay. I'm so happy you're here. I'm going to show you a set that I can't show it to you in the catalog yet, but I can't show you the front of the catalog. So this is our new January through April mini catalog. If you don't have one and you'd like to have one and you don't have a demonstrator, let me know. And I can get one to you. Still kind of adjusting my can't open it for you yet. Tomorrow I can, but today I can't. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna adjust my camera one more time. This is the suite we're gonna work with today. So it's called Perennial Lavender. Perennial plus Lavender is the name of the suite. And it has designer paper. It has butterflies. It has 2 sets of stamps and dies. So this is the one with the flowers. There's no words in this one. We're going to use most of these dies today. Not all of them, but most of them. And then this one, Perennial Postage, these are where all the words come in, and then these fabulous set of frames that have kind of a postage edge. You know what I mean, like the edge of a stamp. So we're going to use some of the stamps, not all of them. I'm going to show you how to do some fun things with these particular stamps and dies today. Okay, Kathy, I'll be back on, Kathy's saying she has to jump off for a little bit, but I'll be on YouTube. I'll post this to YouTube later so you can see. The sentiments are: here for you always. I know you will get through this. Thank you for your friendship. Sending love and best wishes. You are loved beyond measure. You are simply marvelous. Big hugs. We're going to use that one today. Happy Mother's Day for the spring. I can't thank you enough, and you mean the world to me. So kind of encouragement, saying some couple of thank yous, letting people know they're loved, and encouragement. I would say love and encouragement sentiments on this. Okay, before we get started though, I do want to make one last plug for my Be My Valentine class. So this is a class that is going to be in person, but it's also available to go. These are my 4 projects. Now I went, okay, let's use your words, Joey. I partnered with my friend Dawn Bourget to make 8 projects. I've made my 4, but these are her, and I don't have her 4, but she has 4 cards, same product she's using. And this is a treat holder. I don't want to undo my bow, but you can see that I've got a little, one of our clear envelope, our clear envelopes to hold treats. I think I'm out of practice with Facebook Live. Then this is one of the treat boxes that comes with the Be My Valentine suite, and I have that one for treats. This holds sweethearts, and then I have 1 card, and then Dawn has 4 cards. So I've got my Valentine candy here. I know it seems early for Valentine's Day, but you know it's coming. So if you're interested in that class, it's $44. You get a $25 goodie bag of some sweet gifts from me, a detailed tutorial to put the projects together, and did I say $25 plus Stampin' Up goodie bag? And then of course all the projects are cut and embossed and ready for you to just stamp and put together and assemble. If you need shipping on that, it's $53.30, and if you can come in person or do porch pickup, it's $44. I will. Oh, thanks for sharing, Kathy. I know I'm distracted now with people jumping on, and sorry, I'll try not to look at the comments. I know you want me to look at the comments, and I want to, but right now I have to get some things going, and then I will check the comments. So yes, so talk amongst yourselves, make friends. I'm gonna get my hang on, I'm sorry, I can't find, here you are, Be My Valentine Mega Class that we got, and I don't have, okay, I don't have the link for that, but I will put it in the comments once I get off the live, so you can sign up for that if you want to. Tomorrow is the last day to sign up for the stamp camp. All right, now I can get back to your comments, and let's get to the projects. Hi, Carol, welcome. Hi, friend. And thanks. Okay, people are jumping on. So nice to see everyone. All right, let's get going, friends, because these cards are a little putsy. By that I mean they have maybe more steps than you're used to seeing me doing, but I thought in order to actually show the beauty of this bundle, this suite of products, I needed to do a little bit more detailed tutorial today, because there are some kind of unique things to this stamp set, both of these stamp sets and the dies. So to start off with, we're going to take this flower die here, and then we're also going to take these stems here. So I'm going to grab those. I'm going to grab my Fresh Freesia ink pad. I'm going to also grab my gorgeous gray ink pad. Now, if you can get these supplies for free, Diane, I know you love Putsy. Diane's saying she loves Putsy. I know she does. So she's going to like these, I think. Let's get some scrap paper. What I started to say is, so this is my weekly class to go. I'm starting back up again for January. I do them every week. You can get the supplies for everything I'm making today. You can get 2 each of the 3 projects I'm showing free with your $40 order using this host code. You just have to make sure you use the host code. That's the way I give you your free gift, so that I can keep track and make sure I am hang on, sorry, I gotta think for a minute. I need Pretty Peacock for the leaves for this. And that's how I know that this is the class you want, by using that host code. So let me grab my piercing mat, which of course has disappeared. So since that's the case, you know what? We're just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna take the back of my catalog. You know, how do I lose things that I just had like 5 minutes ago? I don't know, but it seems to happen to me a lot. I don't see my piercing mat. So I'm sorry, this is going to be a mess. It's going to look really chaotic, but if you just have something cushy that you stamp on, it does do a little bit better with the photopolymer stamps. But I do want to show you first what we're going to do, a special technique. So we're going to take I don't even know what this is called. Those of you that are experienced stampers, if you remember what this is called, let me know. So I'm going to ink up my stamp with fresh freesia. Well, I'm going to match my stamping is going to match my catalog, so maybe that's not all bad. And I'm just going to ink it up. I'm going to ink it up pretty well, make sure I have it. And with photopolymer stamps, you can kind of look through and see that they're inked up pretty well. Hi, Shirley. Welcome. Okay, so I'm going to ink that up. Now I'm going to open up my Gorgeous Scrape ink pad, and I'm going to move my phone out just a touch. See if we can get it a little bit further. And then I'm going to take a sponge dauber. Now these come in groups of 5, and they're in the annual catalog. They're called sponge daubers, and you can put them on your finger or you can just hold them if you want to. And I'm going to take this to my Gorgeous Scrape ink pad, and I'm going to, now I'm up too far, I see on my video. I'm having problems getting my video straightened around today. Okay, so now I'm going to just tap the bottom of my stamp with my Gorgeous Scrape. Go back into my Gorgeous Scrape, take the bottom, and kind of just work my way up like this, so I get a few dabs of, and then I'm just gonna put like a few dabs on, maybe a little more towards the bottom. And then that gives us 2 colors. Happy New Year, everybody. Oh, hello, all from England. Oh, Carol, I remember now, you are from the UK watching us. All right, so now we're going to stamp this. I'm going to actually huff on my stamp, which means I'm just going to blow hot air on it just to make sure it's moist before I stamp it. And then I'm going to give it some good pressure and hold it for just a minute with photopolymer. And there, that's pretty good. So you can see the different colors with the fresh freesia and the Gorgeous Scrape. So we've got that one, and then let's go ahead and, I'm cleaning my ink pad. Let's go ahead and, just going to move this over here and stamp our stem. And the stem is going to be in Lost Lagoon. So all these papers are in the Perennial Lavender suite of papers, and I'll show those to you in a minute. I'm going to grab my ink pad, has disappeared. Here we go. I used both Lost Lagoon and I used Shaded Spruce for my cards today for the stems. And then I used Fresh Freesia and Highland Heather for the flowers. I'm trying to think if I used anything else for the flowers, but if I miss something, we'll get to it when I get to the other 2 cards. Okay, so let me grab my Stampin' Up cut and emboss machine. I'm going to die cut a couple things with this. Some I have already done, so you don't have to sit through it, and some we're going to do here. So I know I'm close to the camera, but then you can actually see pretty well. So I'm going to grab the die that goes around these beautiful flowers. So this does really look like lavender, the lavender flower. So I'm going to get that going here, lined up. And probably for the stems, I'm going to get out my Post-it tape that I get from Amazon. It's on a roll. And I think you just look up Post-it tape, because you know it's removable. That's the beauty of it. And I'm getting, now you won't be able to see this, but these 3 ends of these stems line up with, oh dang it, should have posted it. Look, they look through these little dots, so I know you can't see it, but I'm looking for those little dots to line up. I'm not going to take too much time with it, because if it isn't perfect, it's okay because it's handmade. Okay, I'm going to get my Post-it tape. You can also use Post-it notes for this if you have them at home. Whoops, I moved it, so let's get it back. This one is a little dicey to line up because it's those holes are so tiny, it's kind of hard to see through them. And I'm not sure I am even seeing them. Oh my goodness. You know, Facebook Live, when it's like that, it's just kind of try to do the best you can and move on because you don't want to waste people's time. I don't want to waste your time watching. So, hi, Alice. Oh, thank you for sharing. Cold Indiana today, huh? It's cold here too, but the sun is shining. I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska. If you haven't joined me before, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. My name is Joey Hartman. I've been stamping for about 20 years now. It's a long time. And I've been a demonstrator for just about that long. Now we're going to run this through, and then we're going to run through something else. We're just going to go ahead, and that's tight. I don't know why that's so tight, but it is. So we're going to run those through. I'm going to take that off for a minute because I'm going to die cut something else because I wanted to show you how one of these dies works. Let me grab. This is silver glimmer paper from the online exclusive. So you won't find that one in a catalog. So you have to look online for that. It's 3-color glimmer paper. And the 3 colors are Highland Heather. I'm poking out the little bits of paper that got stuck in it the last time I die cut it. Highland Heather, Petal Pink, and Pretty Peacock for the 3 colors of glimmer paper. And you have to put glimmer paper, not shimmer paper, in the search if you're looking for it online because it won't come up. So just, whoops, the die moved. Just look for 3-color, type out the word 3-color glimmer paper, and you'll find it in the online store. And Fran's here from Lafayette, Indiana. Fran, I'm not sure I actually knew that's where you were from. All right, now I think this is cut through. Let's make sure. I'm just checking it to make sure it cut through. What I wanted to show you with this particular die is that one die cuts 2 flower stems. I'll be getting out the die cutting machine for probably every card because there's different things I want to show you with the dies, but this is one of my favorite dies in this set of dies. Look how pretty and delicate that is, and you get 2 with 1 pass through the die cutting machine, and it cuts really well. So it cuts it the first time through, and I think it's just really pretty. I love the flowers. I really love them with the lavender shimmer. Okay, so there's that, and then we've got our images cut out here. So let me grab these guys. And get our. It's hard to think spring, isn't it? I don't know, for me, although I'm loving working with new products and back to spring colors, but you know, we've got snow on the ground. I'm looking at a green space out my window. I face the window here when I'm stamping for you, and I'm looking at snow. Okay, let's stamp one more thing, and then we'll be able to assemble our card. Everything will be done. So, on this card, we're going to stamp, "You are loved," and I think I did not mount that. So let's get it out and put it on a block. "You are loved beyond measure" is this one, I think. Yeah. Okay, you grab a block. And I like to straighten up my stamps on my grid paper before I put them on my block. So I'm kind of, and then I like to get my block straightened around. Try and get it straight. Now, it's not going to probably be 100%, but I think it helps to get it lined up. Joey, we are friends on Facebook. I've been here many times, just changed my picture. Okay. Yes, I know. I know, Fran. I know you are. I just didn't know where you were from. Yes, I know we're friends on Facebook. I see your pictures of your family. And you're pretty active on Facebook. which I love seeing all the things that you're doing. Okay, I'm trying to line up that top of that L and the bottom of the L to make sure they're on my card. And I'm using Lost Lagoon. I could have used Gorgeous Grape. It would probably show up better on... It'd probably show up better on Crumb Cake, but my sample card used it, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. Alrighty, so I've got all that. So we've got everything stamped. Let's go ahead and put our card together. So I'm going to grab all my bits and pieces. I have quite a few for this card. This is a piece of basic white thick. It's cut 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored on the long side at 4 1/4. And I'm going to go ahead and crease it with my bone folder, like so. Then I'm going to take a piece of Gorgeous Grape. It's fun to get, I like purple. It's fun to get purples out again. Start working with purple. And this suite was one of the first ones they showed us when at an online demonstrator event. I think it was October. And I think all the demonstrators watching, I think, fell in love with it. Everybody was swooning. Okay, so now this paper, this is the paper I was telling you about. I'll get it out and show you in a minute. We're going to go ahead. This is a piece of, I think, 2 inch by 5 1/4. Yeah. I knew it was 2 inches, but, well, I wasn't 100% sure. 2 by 5 1/4. And again, I line up my card on my... See if I can get in the picture for you. A little more square in the picture. And we're going to put this at about, not quite 1/2 inch maybe. Although I am kind of lining it up with 1/2 inch. Okay. Okay. Then, now we're going to build something. So I need to get out my mat, my rubber mat, that I can't think of the name of. Why can I never remember the name of this? As soon as I get off Facebook Live, I remember it. Okay, let me see how we're going to do this. We're going to start by, let's first of all get our flowers put together. So I'm going to put the stems for this flower in front, like so. So I'm going to put my mini glue dots on the top of this stem on the back, like so. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing, like that. Okay, then I'm going to put that at the bottom of our flower here. And those stems start to look like they're going into the, whoops, into the flowers, kind of like so, like that. Now this mat doesn't get sticky, so that's why I'm putting it down here. Now I'm going to actually put a lot of adhesive down, just kind of randomly, but trying to pretty much cover this, because I want everything that I'm going to put behind it to kind of stick to it. So the first thing I'm going to start with is one of those flowers that we cut out of the purple. I also cut it out of Berry Burst, and I'm going to kind of just arrange this like this. I want the stems to kind of come together at the bottom, because I'm going to put a ribbon around it, and I want the ribbon to look like it is holding the flowers together. Okay, so there's that one. The bottom stems may or may not show. Then we're going to take both of these purple ones, and we're just kind of going to arrange them in that. Hopefully you can see this better against this mat than you can the white grid paper. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's pull this down a little, kind of like this. And you see that it's kind of a hot mess on the back, but I'm sticking up from the front so I can see exactly where they're going. Then we want one of these guys to go, again, I'm looking at the stems at the bottom, trying to get those all together for the most part down there. If they don't go, you can just kind of move them over. And then now I'm going to take another one of these sprigs. This is another one of my favorite dies from this set. These sprigs are so pretty. I'm going to kind of put this up like this out the corner up here, like that. Push it down. Now I'm going to add these little sprigs to the right. This is another beautiful die. See, can you see how pretty that is and delicate? I'm using Lost Lagoon for this color and this one, although there's not. So another thing that happens is then, you know, you've kind of covered up where you have the glue on the back, so then you just, sometimes you have to put a little bit more glue. So I'm going to have this kind of stick out here, kind of like, I think this might be eucalyptus, I'm not sure. And then maybe one more here. I don't want to put it exactly, or maybe that's too much. Let's go ahead and put the bow on and then see if we think it needs more. This ribbon for this card is Lost Lagoon, and what is it called? Bordered ribbon. Okay, put that there. We might put that on, we might not. Let's go ahead and make our bow. Thyme, oh yeah, rosemary and thyme. Rosemary on this one, right, Fran? And thyme on this one? Or do I have it backwards? I'm not a cook, Fran. I know you are. I see you sometimes post things you're making. And I'm not, but yeah, I think that's right. Yep, okay, I see. I saw your answer that said yes. This might be rosemary, and this one looks like thyme. They're pretty. Both of them are pretty. I just really like delicate dies like that. Now, are they always the easiest to work with? Well, they're not hard to work with, but as Diane says, they can be putsy. If you like being putsy, then you're good to go because these are putsy. Okay, I'm going to hold off on the bow for a second. Let's go ahead and look at our card here. This is going to go, we don't need that anymore. This is going to go like this. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and get some dimensionals out for this. And then using my dimensionals, I'm going to kind of hold these guys all together. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to just put dimensionals over all this stuff that's going on in the back. And just making sure they don't show. And kind of trying to get them balanced. And when you can't tell if they're going to show or not, then just go with the mini dimensionals so that you're sure that they're not going to show. And mini dimensionals, just like the regular ones, are just smaller. Okay. And you can't really see, I know, the details too carefully of what I'm doing, but where I placed them, you won't be able to see. That's why I did all of the layering of the stems on my what is that called, you guys? What is this called? It's in the annual catalog. It's safe for heating also. You can use your heating tool if you're embossing. You can put it on that little mat. Okay, so I've got all this silicone mat. Fran, I'm glad you're here today. And actually, I might turn this a little bit instead of straight on. I'm not going to press it down too much yet because I kind of like the way that looks. And then we're going to come down here, and then our bow's going to go here, like so. I think I'm going to put that straight on after all. So we'll go like this. I'm kind of trying to be even from side to side here. Then with this guy, I'm going to go ahead and for this, I'm going to put my dimensionals to the outside of it because I've got a lot. You saw me put a lot of dimensionals down the front of that, and I don't want it to be too bulky in one particular place because one dimensional lands on another. But I do kind of want these stems down here to show. So I'm going to put this about here. This piece is 7/8 inches by 3 3/4, I think. And then we'll go ahead and use 2 mini glue dots on our bow. When the ribbon is a little bit thicker like this, I like to use 2. And then we'll come up here. And we need some bling on it. It isn't done yet without the bling. I realized yesterday I took my pictures of my sample cards before I put the bling on them. So, and I'm probably not going to retake them, but you can see in the video. That's why it's good if you put in an order and you get the these class kits for free. You can watch the video again if you need to. The PDF tutorial is usually sufficient. Maybe we need more bling. Let's do more. I think maybe at least one here. That kind of makes a triangle with that one. And then I think I might put this just a little bit further up. Okay, and then the 5th one would be maybe down here. Yeah. Okay. All right. What do you think of this one? Fran, you grow your own herbs? Oh my gosh, seriously. That's pretty amazing. So here is the sample card that has no bling on it. Let's fix that right now. It just looks bare. And I'm using, they said this is a new gem. I didn't even tell you what that is. It is, let me look it up in the catalog so I tell you the right thing. It's part of this lavender suite of products. If you order the whole suite, then you get the gems with it, or you can order them separately. They're called Purple Fine Shimmer Gems in the new catalog. Purple Fine Shimmer. They're just really, really pretty too. Okay, let's get some bling on this one. We won't spend a whole lot of time on this one because it's already done. And you've already seen how to make it. So, there we go. Okay, there's our first card. What I wanted to show you on this one is how to add color to this main stamp. So, the next one I'm going to use, let's see what number 2 is. So, the next one, I'm going to show you how to actually add ink to a die and what that looks like. Save my bling here, Diane. Better more than less bling. Yes, Fran, we believe better more than less bling, so more is better. All right, there's our first one. Now this one, this next card, I'm going to show you something that we rarely do, but once in a while we have a die specifically made to do what I'm going to show you. Okay, so this is just back to our basic white, 5.5 by 8.5, scored the long side at 4 1/4. So I'm looking at my sample here, make sure I know how I'm going to do this. I think what I'm going to do is the thing I wanted to show you first. So I'm going to grab, the background is pecan pie for this card. Let me go back to the dies. Remember that these are the postage, perennial postage? Yeah, perennial postage dies, and I used the largest one for this size. I went ahead and die cut that ahead of time just so it would be done. Now, there's another die here, and it is like a postage stamp. You see what that looks like? And this one, we're going to actually ink the stamp itself. So let me kind of grab everything to get that going. First, what I need is my die cutting machine back. Nope, wrong. First thing I need is this back, and then we're going to put some designer series paper on it. Don't let me forget to show you this paper. I keep saying I'm going to show you, and then I don't do it. Okay, so this is also in that group of this squares. There's 2 sizes of squares. This is a smaller one. And I'm going to put it actually a little bit of an angle, like so. Now, we're going to take my what do I want first? I'm going to take our Gorgeous Grape ink, and I'm trying to get everything set up here. And then I'm going to take our die cutting machine. Don't know how much of this I'm going to get in the picture, but I'll try to get everything in the picture so you can see. Okay, I'm going to take my ink pad here, and I'm going to put, is that in the picture? Let's see. Yeah, I think it is. I'm going to go ahead and put down, I have Post-it tape on my die, and I'm going to just put my die down, my ink pad, and gently press down. You don't want to press too hard. First of all, you get ink all over your finger, and second of all, you just want to get the idea of it. Now I'm going to take, I have tweezers here. Actually, no, I'm going to get ready. And I'm going to grab my Post-it note, and that's going to help me kind of, oh darn it. I just touched the back side of my die and took the ink off of it. So here we go. I'm going to, hopefully this will work. I'm going to put it right down here. I'm going to gently peel that off because that has ink on it. Okay, try not to touch it. Talking to myself. Try not to touch it. And then I want this up here further. I'm going to grab my die cutting machine. Oh, dang it, I moved it, so this might be a hot mess. But, well, you'll get the idea of it, and you'll know how to do it. I got this idea from one of the samples in the catalog. A lot of times when I'm looking for ideas of how to start something, you have all these new things, you're just not quite sure. And I just rubbed it again. Try not to rub things as much as I'm rubbing them. But, okay, that's kind of messed up. But you can see on my sample here, this one went better. But you get the idea of it, and I'm okay with it because it actually looks a little bit rustic, and we're just gonna go with that and say that's the way it is. Then just don't forget to clean your die before you put it back in your group of dies. So I'm gonna just grab my cleaning mat and push it down, plus get my fingers clean. And you might want to try and tape it, which I didn't do, and that would keep it from moving. Okay, so there's that. Now this die does not cut out, so you can see that it doesn't make a cut, so it's only actually for embossing. But if you add ink to it, then you even have more of a impact on your card because it just shows up better. Okay, let's grab some other parts of our card and put our card together. We need to stamp the greeting, and then I have another piece of DSP cut here. So Fran, a lot of your envelopes are, yeah, that's true. You know, if you think of how they really do look, they do kind of look like that. All right, so this is just another part of the DSP, and I'm going to go ahead actually and put this on our card because we're ready to start assembling our card. I'm going to go like this. Oops, and I have purple ink there, so I didn't get my hands all the way clean, but we'll just make that the back of the card. You know, that's not a problem. All right, let's go ahead and put this on the front of our card so that gets secured down and we don't have to keep fiddling with that. Okay. All right, then this is going to go, this is another one of the dies from that set of Perennial postage dies. I think these are going to be really fun to work with, something kind of new, a little bit of a different shape. I kind of want it to go off at an angle that way. Then, let's see. Now let's just go ahead and do our greeting. Actually, I should have done this first because it's going to tuck under, but we can still do that. Okay, so let's grab our greeting. It's going to be sending love and best wishes. And I don't really need my catalog back for this. I'm just going to grab my, because red rubber has, cling stamps have the cushioning on them where the photopolymer doesn't, so you don't really need an extra cushion like you do with the photopolymer. Sending love and wishes. Best wishes. So this could be wedding, or it could be birthday. And I have hair on it, so. Okay, so now again, I'm going to line this up with my grid paper, and then I'm kind of trying to look straight across at the lines to make sure it gets straight. I mean, you can't really line it up, but, and it still went down a little bit, but I'm okay because you know what? Our postage stamp is kind of wonky, so I'm just going to go with it. This is not going to be, oh, look, it was a scrap paper. This is not going to be popped up because it's going to be flat because we're going to have some really pretty flowers going on here soon. Just going to have that corner, oops, don't go too far because then I'll ruin the look of my postmark on my pseudo stamp right there. So that's so far. Now we're going to make our flowers. This is another thing I wanted to show you how to do. Because there's a two-step stamping flower in this group of stamps. So we're going to take, you know, it's kind of hard to see. We're going to take this stamp is the bigger one, and then this stamp fits on top of it, just so you know how that works. So let's go to these two stamps. So we're going to use two colors of ink. So we're going to use Gorgeous Grape, and we're going to use Highland Heather. So Fran is with putting a glue dot on the die and using a pokey tool to hold it during inking work. Then you don't need to remove the tape. Yes, I think that would work. And honestly, Fran, when I did it the first time, I didn't use tape on it. Well, I must have because the tape was still on it. I think the very first time I tried it, I did not use tape. And then the second time when I was actually finished my card, I did use tape. Yeah, I think you definitely could. You know, if you have a crafting tweezers too, that would work too. All right, so let me show you how I felt like the best way to do this two-step stamping for this particular flower is. So I'm taking actually my lighter color first. I started doing this with my darker color first, and this one first, and then this one, and I felt like, let me just make sure this is really inked well, and I felt like it was harder to line it up. So I'm going to go with this one. Let me grab Kellogg. Good thing the back of my catalog has fresh freesia on it. Okay, much easier to use a piercing mat, and they're not very expensive. Okay, so let me go ahead and stamp this one. So that's our stamp in Highland Heather. Then we're going to take the finer detailed stamp, and we're going to go to our darker color in Gorgeous Grape. Then, because here's the thing, this one has some stems in it, part of the stem, and then this one fills in the stems. So it was a little bit tricky, but what I find, if I line up with this little V down here, and then there's a V, can you see the V? Kind of a V at the bottom of that stamp. That's how I'm going to kind of line it up. Okay, and I'm looking for those stems to see if I can get those lined up pretty well. Probably should have used a bigger block so you could see it better, but we're going to go with this. Okay. And that's pretty good. It's not 100% perfect, but it's pretty good. So I'm happy with that. So we've got that, and then we need another stem. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to cut off my scrap paper here so it goes through the die cutting machine easier. So we don't have to deal with that. And then let's go ahead and do stems. These stems are going to be in shaded spruce. Our first stems were in Lost Lagoon, but we're going to go to shaded spruce for this one. Let me grab the stem. I think the stem is this one. Yeah. And then I have a way to show you how to line up this stem as well with the flowers. These flowers are just a little bit tricky because the stems are really long and the flowers are really tall, because that's really how lavender is. So it makes sense let's go ahead and grab the die cutting machine. And we'll die cut this flower. And oops, just bumped my iPad. And my stems. Put this down. Get out our dies. I hope everybody had a nice Christmas. We went to Colorado. I grew up in Colorado. Oops, that's not the right one. My brother and his family are there. My nephew. And he has a dog he loves, and between girlfriends right now. And my niece is married with 2 children. And we spent Christmas at her house. And then we got snowed in. Well, it didn't snow there, so that's not really true. It snowed across the Great Plains, and we have to drive across on highway. Dang it, that's not working. We had to drive across the highway that was closed. It got closed, so we were an extra day or maybe 2 days there. I can't remember now. That's not going to be great. I don't see my Post-it tape here. Yes, I know I just had it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Okay, I'm going to just grab a Post-it note. I don't know how I can lose things that are right in front of me, but... Oh, I wonder I couldn't find it. I put it away. So why would I find it if it was in the drawer? Okay, let's keep going here. But we had a nice visit. At least we were with people we enjoyed getting stranded in and not in a hotel or out on the highway somewhere. So that was good. And we got home safely. When we drove home, the nights were closed all night the night before, and I thought we'd probably hit some bad roads, but no, they were clear. A lot of the problem driving back was blowing snow. It was blizzarding. And when snow blows across that highway on the plains and there's nothing to break it, you can't see. Your visibility is like 0. Okay, that took a while to tape. But, oops, still not straight. I don't know how this stem is going to come out. My other ones turned out good, but of course, you know, I'm live, so things go rockier. And this needs to be turned this way. No wonder I hit my iPad with my die cutting machine. We'll turn around and go this way. But I have had a lot of fun since I got home playing with these products and some other new products too. I joined several swaps with other demonstrators where we each make one, like 15 or 20 or so of one card, and then we swap them like a Christmas cookie swap. Those haven't come yet, but I'm looking forward to those coming. You can reuse the Post-it tape, by the way, so I'm kind of sticking it back to my die cutting machine. But I did want to show you how to line up these 2-step stamps for this flower, because I kind of struggled with it a little bit. All right, so now all we're going to do, this is a different stem, obviously, but this one also pretty much lines up with the flower stem, and I'll show you how I did it. I'm going to grab a mini glue dot and then put it on the back at the bottom of the flower like so. Then just see where these two stems come like this. So what I did, and obviously this might not be, there's no right or wrong to this. Oops, the glue dot came off onto my finger, for Pete's sakes. Okay, so where these 2 stems come, I'm just going to settle that flower down in there, because to me that looked the most natural, right like that. Okay, and then we're going to put some dimensionals on this, and then we'll finish our 3rd card. So I'm going to put some big ones on. This one I'm going to have adhere the stem to the flower itself, and then I'm going to grab some smaller ones for up here. Probably just one is good. Okay, now I have done this already for 2 other flowers, so I'll show you what that looks like. So let's grab these flowers, and I know they're all too long for the card. And then these I did not take off the dimensional backings yet because, you know, they would stick to something. When I was trying to get them to stick to the card, they would have already been stuck to something. So I'll take them off now so we can finish our card. And again, I did get this idea from the mini catalog. So if some of you are looking at this going, I don't know if this looks like your style. Well, it might not look like my style. I'm going to put this one here. But I always kind of, you know, even when I case somebody, case means to copy and share exactly. I still put my own spin on it. So you might, if you look at if you have them in the catalog already, you might be saying, oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I'm going to go up here, and then that one will be lower than this one, kind of like so. Although I don't like that, so I didn't press them down. Let's see if I can move them. I want it over just a touch more. I want this over. Can I move it? Let's see. Yeah, I can move it. Okay, good. And I didn't press this down too far, so I think I'll be okay. I'm going to come down lower with this one, like so, like that. And then this one, oop, I must have tapped these down. Don't tap them down if you think you're going to, there's a possibility you might move them. Then this one is the tallest. So I'm going to put this flower pretty much up to the top, and then I'm going to move this one. And this one I didn't press down, I don't think, because it's moving pretty easily. And let's tuck that one kind of behind that one, and then it's more on the card. I didn't like it hanging off the edge of the card. Okay, so you can see here where this one's by itself. These two are kind of grouped together. That's not my idea. I borrowed that from the concept artist at Stampin' Up, but I like the way it looked. So now I'm going to do something a little bit more putsy. So I'm going to turn this over. Well, am I going to turn it over? I don't think I need to. I'm going to roll a mini glue dot, 3. So just roll it over on itself like so. And then I'm just kind of gently finding a place for it to go along the stem. Like so. As I said, this is putsy. If you're a beginning stamper, don't be daunted by this. This definitely has a lot of steps to it. But stamping is not hard. It's just how many steps you're going to take to create your project. And everything on this card is die cut, which you don't have to die cut to have a fun time stamping. But this one is, because I'm showing everything that the suite does. But my normal weekly stamping, we don't always die cut everything. Okay, so there's that one. And then what we'll do is we'll just turn it over. Well, actually, I'm going to cut it from the front. And I'm just going to even up these stems. And because I have the mini glue dots down here to secure it, it's not going to be flopping all around. Hi, Kathy. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Oh. You're watching on mute. I have some other friends that watch. I don't know if you're at work, Kathy. I'm not sure if you're retired or not, but I do have some friends that watch from work, and they put it on mute. So hopefully they can tell what I do. All right, I didn't put any bling on these, but we're going to put bling on this one. I think we'll use the darkest. So I've almost used all my dark ones. So it's like Highland Heather. I think this is Berry Burst, Highland Heather, and Gorgeous Grape for these. So I used quite a few of my dark ones on my swap cards. And then, let's see, let's use one more big one. It's not going to show up right on the flower, so maybe we'll go right next to the flower. There it is. And then let's put some bling on my sample card. See, my sample card didn't move. Again, it's Facebook Live, so I kind of get in a hurry, but you can tape it, which I didn't do on this time. Oh, yes, I did do it, didn't I? I tried to. No, I didn't do it. Did I do it? I don't know. You can get it not to move. What I'm saying is you can get it to look like this as opposed to that, because that's when I bumped it. I think I actually bumped it with my hand when I was done making it. Okay, so there's our sending love and best wishes card. Again, that's the second card you will get supplies to make 2 of these if you put in a $40 order using this host code by Sunday night. It has to be by Sunday night. Okay, my third card, I also want to show you another stamp, 2 stamps that I think might be a little confusing to use. Let me find them under all the stuff that's going on here. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. Okay, so this stamp and this stamp. Let me show you these on the stamp set itself. So it's this one down here. I know that there's glare on the camera. This one kind of, you know, like skinny weeds, but there are flowers on them. And then these tiny flowers. I thought, well, that might be challenging to stamp with. So let me show you what I did with this. So I took a piece of Lost Lagoon, if I can find it. The color doesn't matter because we're going to put scrap paper over it. Although I will say I started with white and then I went to a color so that I could actually see where the bottom of the flowers end, where this bottom of the flowers ends, so that I could keep a straight line. Does that make sense? So I'm going to line this up again on my grid paper. Now you could glue this down with Post-it tape. Maybe I'll do that just to be safe. I didn't do it on my sample, but you know, again, Facebook Live, things go wacky. So I'm just pinning this down. And then I'm going to take Lost Lagoon again and ink it up gently. I'm just going to start at the end. I'm going to go right down to the Lost Lagoon. Now I'm going to cover this up. Whoops. Hang on, kids. Let's see if I'm all cracked up to be, if I can get this. I didn't have that corner down there stamped. That's the nice thing with photopolymer, though. You can usually get it lined up. And then I'm just going to stamp all my, whatever these are, weeds with flowers. And that one I didn't get right at the bottom, so I'm just going to go back. With this very bottom is going to be covered up with DSP. I'll show you how that's going to go. So this is going to go like this, like so. Okay, makes sense? All right, now, but before we do that, we're going to stamp the flowers in there, and I'll show you how I did the flowers. So I'm going to take both Gorgeous Grape and Fresh Freesia, and I'll show you how I did this. So what am I going to start with? No, I'm going to start with, that's the wrong color anyway, because that's Highland Heather. Let's go with Gorgeous Grape. Okay. Then I'm going to take these flowers. Now it's kind of hard to see. You will not, I don't think there's any way you'll be able to, I'm just cleaning it off. You'll be able to see the direction of these flowers, but you can probably see on here. This is the way the flowers go. Okay, well, I did stamp on the opposite of this, so we'll go with this. So there's a tall edge that goes down. Does that make sense? A tall flower in the middle. All right, so here we're gonna go. And I did it the exact opposite of my other card, but that's okay. So I'm gonna stamp it once, then I'm gonna stamp it again to stamp off. Then I'm gonna leave a little room for my Fresh Freesia flowers. So I'm going to leave a little space again, leave a little bit of space, and trying to vary the height also. So stamp one and then stamp off. So I'm going to go down this time and then up this time, like so. I guess we're making lavender here. I'm guessing it's a lavender feel. And down. Okay, so that's that. I did not try to line it up with any of the stems. So, or the, the leaves. I just stamped it because it's so tiny, I don't know how you could tell anyway. Now I'm just going to go back with my fresh freesia and fill in these places. Some going up, some coming back down, like there. And I think that's it, maybe. Yeah, that's it. Maybe just a tiny one there. Okay, now I'm going to hold it. Can you see it? Yeah, it looks like you actually can see it pretty well on the video. So I think this is just so pretty. Now they did this in the catalog, so if you've seen the catalog, you're going to see something like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this down here. Although, yeah, I think that's okay. I could have made my flowers up further, but we're going to, well, let's see. I might shorten this. This is 1 3/4. I might go to 1 1/2. Let's see if I've got. So more of my flowers show because I'm going to put a ribbon there. So this is 1 1/2. So if I go there. 1 3/4. 1 1/2. Well, 1 1/2 is going to be right at that line. I think we'll go for it because the ribbon can hide it. If I cut it too short, the ribbon can hide it. So instead of 1 1/2, maybe I'll go 1 5/8. I'm trimming off the camera. 1 5/8 with my paper trimmer. And the length of my DSP is, this is the same designer series paper. Yeah, I like that better. So if you, all right, so I'm losing my train of thought. So if you like the flowers being up, obviously you're just going to widen or lessen the strip of your mat. So this is 1 3/4, I think. Let me check. No, this is exactly 1 1/2. So that's the way I did it, but obviously there's room for improvement or creativity. Then I'm going to go ahead and put down my DSP, and they're calling, I think they're saying this is pecan pie. Maybe they pair it with crumb cake, so I better not say that. Let me look at the paper. I think they did say crumb cake, and I'll show you the paper because I've been saying I would show you and I haven't. So, Berry Burst, Blackberry Bliss, Fresh Freesia, Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, Lost Lagoon, Orchid Oasis, Pretty Peacock, Shaded Spruce, and Starry Sky. So they don't say what that neutral is. In the catalog, they pair it with crumb cake, and I'm gonna do the same thing. Let me show you some of these prints. I don't have my nice, neat 6x6 package yet because I haven't ordered my paper shares yet. But this paper is just stunning. So this is the back of this one. So there's that. It's just all watercolory, and then it has the beautiful. It's not really crumb cake background, but it's a warm neutral, and then you have this beautiful, and this, isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh, it's just such pretty paper. See, whatever, I haven't showed you yet. Oh, this one. So this is just the little lavender flowers in white and grape, and then this beautiful page too. And then this one might be my favorite. This one with the little lace mantle here. So pretty. You see that? I'm trying to see if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it pretty well. And then did I show you this final one? This one. You could use this as a scrapbook page. If you're a scrapbooker, you could definitely do it for a scrapbook page. And then that's the back of that one that we used on our postage card. And I think I showed you all now. I maybe didn't show you the whole piece of this one. So this is the one I used parts of on our second card. I used a strip of this, and then that was the back that we're using on this card. So at least you got to see the paper. It's so, so pretty. Let me get this out of your way though, and we're going to finish our last card for today. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, yes. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Liz. Happy 2024 to you. How will we cover it? So sad. I know. How can we cover it? Well, we just have to buy twice the amount so we can use both sides, right? All right, now we're going to go ahead and put this on a gorgeous great card base. This is just the most beautiful purple. Just is so pretty. But before we do that, we're going to tie a bow around it. This is a new ribbon called Center Stripe ribbon, but the center stripe is pecan pie. That's why they put it in the catalog. So, and I did use, that's why I used pecan pie on this card. I thought it was really pretty with all these colors, you know, which is kind of unexpected. Who would say, oh, let's put lovely lavender and gorgeous grape with pecan pie? I wouldn't have been the first person to say that. But it turned out so pretty. I guess that's why they pay the people at Stampin' Up the money. They pay them to pick out the color combinations because they are first rate. Always so pretty. Okay, so I'm making my bow. This is an easy ribbon to tie. It's really soft. And I like the size of it, the 3/8 inch. That's about my favorite. We're 1/4. I like 1/4 too. Okay, so I'm going to kind of just try and arrange my bow a little bit. This is not what they did in the catalog, but I couldn't do it the way they did it. It just wasn't turning out for me, so I made a bow. I know the bow is a little bit gigantic for these delicate, teeny flowers, but the colors are prominent enough in the flowers that I think they show up pretty well. Let's move this down a little bit more, like so. I think it's pretty actually just like that. Now let's go ahead and put it on our gorgeous great card base. A little bit tricky with the ribbon on it and the bow, but definitely doable. I could have tied it around the whole card, I guess. That probably would have been a little bit simpler. Let's go ahead and go down like this. Just kind of centering it all around all four sides, like so. Then, let's go ahead and I had to get my stuff off the floor. It was flying around here. Oh, I know what we didn't do yet. So we are going to color a butterfly. So let me show you the butterflies that come with this. This suite. So these are the butterflies. You get 40, so you get a lot. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 butterflies. So you get 8 of each butterfly. And what I did is I colored them with my blends markers. So let me get my chair back out here because I'm going to color a little bit. And what I did was, now if I can find it, I kept the frame of the punched out butterflies, and now let me get rid of this stuff for just a minute, get it out of our way. I'm going to put this butterfly back in here, and that's how I'm going to color it. Let me make sure I've got it going the right way. These little antennae, they're very delicate. Yeah, I think this is the right way. Okay, so I don't know. I didn't do this exact same butterfly on my other one, so we'll see how this turns out. I don't know how it's going to be, but we're going to go for it. I put it in the frame because these are so delicate. I just didn't see how I was going to color them without having something to kind of hold them steady. Does that make sense? So I thought maybe this would work. That's how I did my other one, but it was a different butterfly too, so we'll see. I'm not sure. And now I'm just going to color the body. This is dark, gorgeous grape through here. Okay. I don't know if you can tell if I'm getting it or not. I'm not sure I can tell if I'm getting it. Then I took my light one. Now this light one is just about done, so I don't know. I do have a new one here. If we need to use it, we'll use it. And then I just colored. Is this grape or freesia? Oh, it's Highland Heather. Oh, so this is dark Highland Heather. Sorry, told you the wrong thing. This is the Highland Heather. And then I'm just using the side of my marker to color this delicate butterfly. Instead of trying to color it, you know, just loose on your crafting surface. Now, am I doing a beautiful job of coloring? No, because I'm trying to just show you a technique. So I'm hurrying through it just to get it done so we can get it on the card. And it's okay, I think, to have a little variation in color on a butterfly. Nature's not all solid color ever. Okay, we need a new, well, let's see if I can try my bullet tip. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. But when you use a bullet tip, then it's not very smooth coloring either. So let's go to my new gorgeous grape, and let's try this again. Not gorgeous grape, Highland Heather. Oh, and of course it's gonna be a lot darker. That's okay. You might say, I'm never gonna do this technique. This is a hot mess. This is Highland Heather Light, but it's obviously a much newer marker. This card might be just a hot mess, kids. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, actually. But you'll get the idea, and you can then make it your way and make it pretty the way you want it. And then because this is such a darker color, I'm going to need to color the other side of my butterfly again. And again, I don't want to wreck the tip of my marker, so I'm just using the side of it. Because these are soft tips and you can fray them really easily, and I don't want my brand new marker frayed. But it does help quite a lot to hold it in place, to put it on a piece of cardstock like I did, and then just color around the frame. Okay, makes sense? Okay, all right, this is very, very splotchy, but you get the idea of it. I just want to make sure I have got, oh, I do have my antenna. And I did secure this, so I put a little bit of adhesive on the back of this, which I don't know if you want to do that because it means you can't. What you have to do now, though, is if you want to use these, just get rid of this part that has adhesive on it. Does that make sense? I don't know if that was the smartest idea I've ever had, but it did secure it. Okay. We'll keep this butterfly for another project. That's seriously a hot mess. So let me go back here and remember, don't do as I do, do as I say. Is this light or dark? Oh my gosh, dark. Okay, so we're just gonna have the probably ugliest butterfly in the nation, in the world of colored butterflies. Just gonna go around the outside. Just, if you want to tune out now, I understand. Totally. Or is that the back? Oh, no wonder, Joey. Okay, well, as I said, look how good this butterfly is colored. Okay, I didn't have near this many ups and downs with my first one, but we're going to finish this card. All right, we need to stamp our greeting first, so we're going to go with big hugs. I think that might be my favorite sentiment in this whole set. And I'm going to go with gorgeous grape again. And thank you, Liz. Oh, Liz is laughing. Yeah, friend, isn't the ribbon pretty with it? All right, now kids, I don't know what happened with this. All right, let me show you this stamp. because I don't know if yours is this way or not. If anybody has a stamp set, let me know if yours works this way. Okay, can you see that I have this lined up straight, big hugs, and then you stamp it, and then look how crooked it is. So if you have a stamp like this, here's my hint. So always stamp first. Words I almost always stamp first before I stamp them on my cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this, and then I can see that I'm going way up, so I'm going to turn this a little crooked down. See, and now it's straight. So now this, I want my greeting to actually go up and down. Can you see this is going to go up and down? Let me try it one more time. I'm leaning the words down, and then it's pretty straight. So I'm leaning the words down a bit. Yep, and it's straight. I don't know what happened because it looks like I have it on exactly, but I either turned, I think I must have turned my label and it still fit okay, but it made the words crooked. So just be extra careful with this. If you get this stamp set, just be extra careful with that, so that yours is straight and not wonky like mine. But that's a hint for your crafting, is to go ahead and check your words on your grid paper first to make sure they're going to be the way you want them to be. Okay, so we're going to get this on here, and then, oops, and this on here. I use that silver glimmer paper again. I've used all three colors in that set. I've used the Perfect Pretty Peacock. I've used the Petal Pink. And I've used this Highland Heather. So we're going to stick this in here like so. I'm going to look at my sample. Actually, I don't even remember what I did with this. Yeah, I think this is how I did it. So we're going to stick. Let's hold on and see where we're going to put our butterfly, because this is a different butterfly. I think I'm going to go, I think for this one, I'm going to go a little bit more to the left than my sample. I'll show you my sample. I just didn't want to color up these flowers too much, so I put it to the side. Now, when you have something like this that's really delicate, I've showed you this before if you've watched me, but if you haven't watched me before, you probably won't watch me again after the fiasco with the butterflies, but I hope you do. I'm not always perfect, but I always strive to be entertaining. Let's just go for that. Remember, if you are interested in this set of cards, you can get all the supplies for this set of cards for in return for your $40 purchase using this host code. And if you spend $50, I'll also send you an embellishment, but you do have to use the host code, and you have to do it by Sunday night. This special ends. This class to go ends on Sunday night. Now, for the butterflies, you will not get the same butterflies. Everybody's probably going to get a different butterfly. So, because I won't have enough of one kind of butterfly to give everybody the same butterfly. But you'll get a butterfly that'll work on your card perfectly well. Now, I'm just lining up these mini glue dots. I'm not going to put them everywhere, but just enough to kind of balance it out. And remember the mini glue dots, when you roll them like this, I'm just rolling it on its side, they pop it up a little bit too, so that's kind of nice. Go down here. I'm going to kind of try to even these out so it isn't wonky. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll have all my links in the description, video description. If you're watching on Facebook, I'll put my links in the comments. Okay, so how are we going to do this? I think we'll go, should we go this way? That's not going to fit on the card, so maybe we need to go right up here. I kind of want it to overlap the greeting. So let's go like right about here. Also don't want to cover up my flowers. So it's a big butterfly for big hugs. So there you go. Let's put some gems on this. And we're going to use the light Highland Heather gems for this. As I said, I didn't put gems on my first card. And let's just put a bunch of gems on. This one. The more the merrier. If Diane's still watching, she'll say yes. And some of the rest of you are big bling people too. So let's put one here on the butterfly. Okay, my friends, I hope that was helpful, honestly, with this stamp set, even though it's kind of wonky. Here's my first butterfly. You know, butterflies are good no matter what size they are. So there's those two. Here's these two. All this. I hope that this was helpful in using this suite of products, because there are a few little unusual things that might give you a little pause for how do I do this if you don't know how to use it. So I hope that was so. Could we get Wink of Stella on the butterfly? Oh yes, we could. What? Oh, now you want to? Sure, why not? If you've hung with me this long, bless your heart. Let's do it. Here we go. I can lift this up probably because I didn't push it down too hard. I usually don't. And then we just put it on our mat, our silicone mat, right, friend? If you're still watching. And then let's get out our Wink of Stella. Should have thought of that. Thank you, Diane. Good idea. Let me find it. Gotta look for it here. Wink of Stella, where are you? Because I didn't have it pulled ahead of time. But you know what? I have a new one. Let's just get out a new one. It's probably time for a new one anyway. I think that really will make a difference. So let's go ahead and, oops. So I hope everybody has a wonderful new year as well. We have friends over. We just had a couple that we've been friends with. I've been friends with them over 40 years, long time. Remember, on your Wink of Stella, you have to take off this black band or the ink won't flow. That's to keep the ink from flowing. Okay, so we spent New Year's Eve here at the house. We have a new puppy. His name is Teddy, and they wanted to meet Teddy. And we really didn't want to be going on New Year's Eve because we didn't know how many fireworks would be going off. I'm squeezing this now to bring that Wink of Stella down into the barrel. Oop, well, that was too hard. Don't do that. And then let's go ahead and shimmer up our, ooh, that's going to be pretty. Look at that. Let's get his little antenna and everything. I maybe should put down cardstock. Although now I'll probably stick my butterfly to the cardstock, but you know, that's the way the whole Facebook Live it's gone today. Welcome to my channel. Everybody's like, nah. It's a little wacky today, my friends. Okay, gonna go ahead and get it all. Don't do this big of a blob of Wink of Stella. Don't push quite as hard as I did. See, you watch my channel to see how not to do it, and then you'll know how to not make mistakes. That's what I'm here for. Liz knows me well. She's watching. We've done a lot of stamping together. Although, honestly, I'm not this much of a mess usually. It's just like Facebook Live. Okay, so there's our Wink of Stella. We're going to let that dry for a moment. And now I'm going to try something very precarious. Since I have so much of this here, I'm going to go ahead and try and do this butterfly. And I think it'll be okay. I'm going to try and stay away from the crumb cake cardstock. This is a great idea, Diane. So everybody remember that you could even do your Wink of Stella on your butterflies without, ooh, that's a big blob, without coloring them. You could just do white shimmery butterflies and that would be pretty too. I think I'm probably making this a really hot mess. So that's okay. I can redo it if I want to, but I probably won't. I rarely redo a card once I'm done with it. I just give those to my relatives. To my customers and my friends, I give the really nice ones. My relatives get the wonky ones. They're not watching, so they won't know. Okay. Look how pretty. This one doesn't have any gems. Oh, Liz, you're so sweet. I hope I make you feel like you can do it too. Honestly, you know, I do love to make beautiful cards. I try to make beautiful cards. But the thing is, you know, if we have fun paper crafting, that's the only thing that matters. If it gives you stress relief and it gives you something beautiful to think about and fun, and you're doing something for somebody else, who cares if it's like looks like a Hallmark card? It shouldn't look like a Hallmark card. Okay, so we're gonna stick this little butterfly. That made all the difference, Diane. You're the best. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna stick this down. Now I am gonna take my tool here, and that's what somebody else said, actually, Liz, on my YouTube channel. They say, thank you for showing us that we can make mistakes and still make pretty cards. Something like that. I'm just trying to find those mini glue dots. I don't know exactly where they are, so I'm kind of just poking around here. And now I covered up my big hugs. Well, I think we can still move it. There we go. If you're just beginning stamping, honestly, it's not this hard. I'm just making it more difficult. But we have two shimmery butterflies. Look how pretty. This one doesn't have bling. Let's get the bling on. You've been with me this long today, so let's just keep on going. We'll get it finished up. Okay, so I like the pointy ends for taking the gems off the paper. So I think the smaller butterfly might be better in perspective, but you know, you don't have all small butterflies in your kit of butterflies, so I want you to, we're going to use our butterflies like that. Okay, there's our butterflies. I think somebody will love that card, don't you? Yeah, they won't know that I was a hot mess making it and that my butterflies were kind of starting to look like a disaster. All right, friends, thank you for the hearts. Thank you so much, and thanks for watching. Friends laughing, so that's good at least. I'm glad, hope you're laughing. Let me turn myself right side up again, so I'm that way. Thanks for watching so much, and if you stuck through to the end, God bless you. You're one of the best out there, and I hope that you'll come back. I'll be back next Wednesday, and next Wednesday at 12:30 on my channel, we're going to do a catalog kickoff party. So I'm going to make 4 cards showing lots of things from the 2 new catalogs, and I hope you'll join me for that. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being my friend. Sending you my hugs. Bye-bye.